So you're both in it?
Yeah.
You can fit in it together?
Yeah, it is somewhat. Here, come out. That was my head.
Okay,
right,
let's
hold still. Come to the front.
We can
both fit in it. And he did just headbutt me, but. All right, so this is our bike tent trailer that we got from a company that let's see, it's for us to haul around with our e-trike so that we can have some shade if we want it, or it's to haul things around. So
it's to sleep in at night.
No,
you're doing good.
You didn't
It's
give
a
me
sleeping
any.
tent.
Yes, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure, and you.
It can haul a few things around, but mostly it's for sleeping in.
Okay.
It's like a mummy bag type of a tent.
Next time, give me
Well,
some.
you did super fun, and then at the end, when you started to describe what it's for, I thought, oh, maybe I should tell her what it's for.
Yes.
Might not actually take much assembly. It looks like it's fully put together.
That's the one for the instructions.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the instructions they sent. For some things, it is true that a QR code taken to a video is easier than written instructions, especially if you are like one language trying to translate into another language. So there's the QR code. Hopefully that's helpful. So far, I'm really impressed with the quality of the materials.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's super solid. I don't know if it'll be long enough for a giant human like you guys.
6 foot.
Yeah. So it's not a solid axle. It's a 3-piece axle with 2 rods, one each that goes through each wheel. So that's interesting. I haven't seen that before.
So these are for the legs of the tent so that you can hold it up so it won't collapse on you. These ones are for this rope that will attach to the top and the cover for the tent. There's 4 of each.
Right, you want to tuck in as you go, because if you don't, your tires are going to eat your tent. So tuck in. Tuck in. Tuck everything in. And then you kind of have to keep tucking even as you go. Why is it still locking? There it goes. Okay. You have to keep tucking in because it just kind of balloons out a little bit when you fold it up. So tuck again. And there you go. I'm not sure why this came off, but it's nice. It has grippy bits so that when it's on the ground it's not slipping around. I think it's really well made. And yeah, nice and straightforward. Alright, this one has to go from the front, not the back. So this one, there you go. Tuck that in. And you're ready to ride. So I'm going to hook this up to my bike and show you what it's like to ride. I might see if I can get John up to go with me on the e-trike to show if it swishes. So any balancing that she's trying to do with the bike is accentuated by the cart. The cart really wobbles.
We are at the local hardware store to pick up the U-bolt. So the original YouTube channel that you can look at is William Huang. It looks like he's the one who built the trailer, and he does a few videos on how to assemble it. So something like that, except that one's only for 3/4 inch pipe.
And this one wasn't
But then we jump up to the 1 inch pipe, and definitely not long enough.
I know.
All right, everybody, moment of truth. Let's actually, we're gonna undo. It does pivot. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's see if we can start with our first modification. Good. Once we get that done,
Why? If
so
it works.
put the electrical tape and stuff on it as a buffer so that it doesn't start eating through the finishes on the materials.
Hey guys, I've got my ex-nito helmet on and my safety glasses. I do not ride a bike without glasses because you get bugs, you get dust in the air, you get all sorts of junk, and you want to be able to see when you're riding.
Love you, dear. What?
That is tucked in. You didn't hear it?
Nope. I'm glad you did.
I've already tucked it in once. So it sounds a little bit like the cards you used to put in your tires as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what it sounded like. So I'm calling it a 2 on the left and an 8 on the right.
Our approximate speed, let's see if I can match. Right around 10 miles an hour. 9.3, 9.5, 9.8. But it doesn't affect your balance. And it's worse on dirt. What I'm really curious about is that hill. What it's going to be like climbing up that.
Alright, so it was not any more difficult to get up the hill with the cart than it was the bike. The lag I was feeling wasn't really affecting me. I was going up and down my gears. Everything was working. I was a little worried coming around that big turn if it's going to mishandle force. This is where it's going to mishandle it. So I was a little worried that it was going to flip me, but it handled it just fine. I think it would be even safer if it was loaded down a little bit. I did put my yoga mat and some bungees and a safety vest on top of it just to see how does everything hold down. It's not heavy, but it was something. Let's see. Start stop if I'm not in the right gears is more noticeably difficult than just with my bike. And that's I try not to say yes to products that I don't think will be interesting for me personally. This one I sought it out, asked him if I could have it because I'd already seen it a few times and I thought it was really exciting. The last test I want to do for it is to take this actually camping and see if I can pack it nicely enough that it would be comfortable for me to go and stay, see how much more weight the trailer can take safely, and how to cover it. Like if I had my blankets in here, I would need to put them in like a slicker bag or something to protect them from road grime and that kind of thing. And where would I put food? Could I take firewood? I don't know any of those answers. Unless I was going with the e-trike, I don't really have a whole lot of storage options on this setup. So, and if you're taking this, you only have room for one person in the tent. So weight-wise, if you want more than one person, you're going to want to take a real tent and take a real bike trailer that has a lot of space and a cover so that you could, but then it's heavy, so then you probably want an e-bike. So that all the combinations matter of what it is you actually want to do when you're bike camping. Thanks, honey.
Good fabric. You don't need the rain for tonight.
You're both making shade. Kaya, get behind your father.
Are we Slim Shadies?
No.
Fat shady.
Okay, so we've got the porch light on so that I can try it tonight. I've already got my blankets in. The materials are exceptional. And sometimes the rods are a little hard to put in because they are a good height, good length to make it arch nicely.
i.e. they will draw blood.
i.e. poor John
Got scratched.
got pinched pretty good, right?
Jarred, I think.
Thanks for putting it. How long do you think it took to
Sucked
put
all
the
the
tent
blood
together? Like 45 seconds? A minute?
Minute and a half.
Can I see?
Minute and a half.
Wow.
So, Kaya, John,
Oh, that's Dad.
whoever you are, get out. Okay, so
You want to bring the spotlight?
there we are.
There we are.
That's what it looks like.
Unless somebody else wants to figure it out.
Hoop.
There you go.
Clip around there.
And then you
And then you
retighten
give
it.
a good snug little cinch.
Here, let's move it over here and then pull on it. There you go.
So at least if they collapse, they'll collapse together, eh?
Okay, I don't think it needs terribly snugged though.
No, but the other one probably did.
It looks like
Much
it needs
better.
pushed back down this end.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was pretty
Yeah,
snug.
you got that one good.
So it's a tough little thing, but I think my favorite part is just how
That's
how
thick
good the
nylon.
fabric
That
is.
That is not your typical Walmart tent nylon.
Uh-uh.
I want to. Mom wants to be the one to sleep in it tonight. But
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep in it tonight just to see how much space you have and if it's breathless or if it's you know,
Take your breath away.
well, night sleeping sometimes in a tent you feel like you're a little claustrophobic because you don't have enough air.
do you want me to put the bug screens
Yeah,
down?
put the bug screens down.
Honey.
Yeah.
So this side of your head.
Right.
I would put the foot screen there.
So I'm gonna get in and then I'll show you guys how much space I have. John got into it and wait. Child,
Stop.
stop.
Back away.
When you start to do weird things like that and it starts to pucker, it means you're about to break the zipper. So don't do that. You want to do it without it looking like it's going to pucker. Okay, you see how it's got that much tension on it still? It means I need to be able to use both hands and make sure that it's not breaking the zipper.
Just because she's a poor defenseless little girl John's gonna be running support out here.
Alright, so I want to show you. John's keeping me company, but he's built himself up a little rugged camping platform adventure with 2 beds. Kaya's gonna sleep on one. She's gonna sleep on mine tonight, on my side. And so John's gonna sleep on his side. He's got all this storage. And then he's making a shade cloth too. And he can still fit the bikes on.
Oops, sorry. Gonna have a diesel heater. What?
And then he can fit the bike still on the hitch, and then it swings so that he can still get in. It's a pretty cool setup. So he and Paige, your name's Kaya. He and Kaya are going to be out here testing this to keep me safe from cougars while I'm testing.
Guess I'll bring a gun.
Bring a gun. Oh, I'm testing this one. So the reason we're trying it here at home first is because they didn't have a camping spot open at this spot that's close enough for me to do a maiden voyage. I think this is just the cutest thing ever. Alright, first impression is that the platform is nice because you don't have rocks and stuff underneath your back. Now, I'm not doing a sleeping bag tonight. I'm just doing blankets. And so the setup feels more straightforward than a tent. A faster pop-up. Alright. So, I did 2 of them. I did up 1, 2. There's one more down there that you can do, but I didn't feel the need. Okay. So, I did up the flap here and here. And you can't really see out unless there's light coming in. And so it does feel a little bit like a box. You do have this here, so I'll probably put my cell phone there tonight. It does have some really good waterproofing tape on it. And this tent also has a really good rain fly on it. So even though it does have this nice waterproofing tape on it, the rain fly would keep you even nicer. I'm not sure what this thing is for. In a big tent, it's a lot of times to hang things on. But I don't know if that's supposed to, like, I don't know what that's for. This you could hang a little light on, which is nice. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. There's another one down there. If I want to get really good airflow, every one of these has every side of the tent has a bug screen versus solid closure. If it was raining, obviously, you'd want the solid closed, but I think on a summer night, otherwise you wouldn't want that. I love how reinforced this is. You see how in the corner where it would want to give way, they reinforced it like that. All the seams are really stinking good. All the sewing is very good. I haven't seen any loose ends on stitching. See, there's the first thread that I've seen, but it's not loose. I'm really, really impressed. As with any camping experience, the sunrise is the best part because you're outside in your tent. You're there for it from the beginning. So, thoughts on my sleep last night. I slept in this as well as I sleep on my bed. There is a little bit of cold that comes up through the bottom because you're in the air instead of insulated on the ground. So I would say having, it's not that like you have air flow through, it's just that the air underneath you is cold. And so you get a little cold. So I'd say an insulated sleeping mat. If I hadn't been so tired, the blanket that I have under my head, I would have put it underneath me. And I think that would have solved everything in the night. I did end up closing the screen in the night just so that it would be a little warmer in here. And the bug mesh did prevent a little bit of the breeze from going through. It was quite windy for a little bit last night, and it just was sufficient. I think if I had closed the whole flap, all flaps, I think it would have been, I don't know, maybe 10 degrees warmer in here. I think it would have made that much of a difference. Let's see what else. The cut itself, again, it stays flat. I'm really amazed that it doesn't have like a warble or something, but the legs are positioned in such a way that it does. It just stays completely flat. Feels just like a normal cut. What else? I did not feel claustrophobic last night. I wish I had had my earplugs in just because of the noise of the night. But when you're camping, it's not real safe away from home to have earplugs in. So I didn't wear them tonight. The reason it's not safe away from home is because you wouldn't be able to hear anything if something dangerous was approaching. So I think this is probably the best made tent I've ever slept in as far as the materials used. The screening is really nice. The canvas is super, super thick, well stretched, no loose threads anywhere. I believe that the man that makes these himself. I've only seen it from one seller, and so it's more of like a personal project than like a mass production project, and I've only seen them sold on Amazon. I had to look this guy up. I saw these tents on YouTube when I was looking up possible trailers for the e-trike. Most of the reviews that I do, I'm like kind of, I don't really know. This one, I'm just nothing but impressed with. So if you love camping and if you love biking and you're more of a solo adventurer than a family camper when it comes to biking, I think this is a fantastic option. If you wanted to compare the space here, it's about the same amount of space as a hammock. When I was in my 20s, I used to sleep in a hammock when I went out camping. And the fact that you're curved all night makes it difficult to sleep. And so I would have to say that the fact that this lets you lay flat, even though that's the same amount of space as a hammock, is pleasant and comfy. And you wake up at the appropriate time in the morning instead of waking up all night tossing or trying to toss and turn, but you're in a hammock and you can't really turn. I have a really long torso, as long as most men. And I have enough room to sit up to be able to swing my legs out to get out of the tent. Make sure not to do things up too tight. John and Kai put this together last night, and they did the Velcro up really, really tight, and it's not necessary. This is just to keep the middle from sinking or lagging. Anything that pulls too tight is going to pop the seams. So when you're doing this up, you're just giving it a tiny little support like that, and that's sufficient. So I've got all the zippers done up so that you're not having problems with the tent pooching out when you're driving with it. And then you guys saw last night, you've got these straps that need to be undone now so that the legs can close. All right, so it's easier to get the stakes out and in when the tent is flat. So these have to come up because they are the frame that gives the poles resistance, but it's easier to put up and take down the poles themselves if it's not clipped to the frame. Otherwise there's just too much resistance. These are very, very tough clips, very tough non-fiberglass poles, and the nice thing is because they're not fiberglass, they're not going to splinter and hurt your fingers, so they're high quality. But lay it down. Don't try to push them in when it's up, because so much resistance there that it's very hard to get them in and out of the holes. Huh? I can't hear you, honey. Yeah, but she hasn't got potty yet. Just leave her alone out here. She can eat grass if she wants. Just go get them food and leave it in the bowl. And if they want to come in, they can, but they aren't going to be forced to poop in the house because they haven't got potty yet. There are no special like bags on the tent, which I think would be nice if it did, so you could reach the poles. But I just slide them on the inside of the tent like that.
It looks like it's just a plastic tarp, but it's not.
It's fitted on the ends too.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, that's cool.
That is quite a little rain fly.
So that fits around the corners like a fitted sheet.
So there's Velcro. See the window right there? All right. And then there's Velcro. That's actually a stiff little piece. And then it fits to
Oh, so you can
there.
still breathe.
So you have your vent and all the rain would come off underneath. Yeah. Because there's that fitted sheet. There's that fitted sheet. There and there. And then, yes, you still have the
That's
side
pretty
window to go in and out of. Yeah, like there's a spot in here where I'm 6'1" and I would not touch, and I'm stretching pretty well.
So your toes are not pushing on the far end?
If I add my toes down, I can rub the canvas, and my head would be close, like right there, but...
Do you feel like you'd be claustrophobic?
No, but I don't get claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I only get 3x zoom.